I want to understand how to solve equation with the fraction. Here are 8 examples, and I hope by the end of this video you will have all your concept absolutely clear. I like you to view the video, copy these equations, and then we going to take them one by one. I am going to use 2 strategies here to solve all these equations. Let me call strategy 1 as cross multiplication, and 2 has get rid of fractions. And now cross multiplication also helps to get rid of fraction. Let's say the number is there here, we will just take it on the other sides, so we will get rid of 3 from the left side. Now sometimes what happens, we have different number, right? For example, here we have 3 terms. Here, how do we get of fractions? So in this case, we will look for the LCM, lowest common multiply. Will multiply both sides by lowest common multiply. So the strategy will be LCM times both sides, and then we will solve as a linear equation without fractions. So now let's apply the solution to all these questions and solve them one by one. In such case, which kinds of ratio you could do cross multiplication? Let us understand what we are trying to do. Think like this. We have our equation as x plus 2 over 3 equals to 4 over nothing. So think we have 1 here. So cross multiplication means this 3 gets multiplied with the term on the right side, and this term, the whole term, gets multiplied by 1. You get an idea. That means it remains kind of same. That's what we mean. So cross multiplication, we are left with the x plus 2 on the left side, and on the right side we get 4 times 3 or 3 times 4, one of the same things. So what we have here is x plus 2 equals to 12, and now this is the without fractions. Easy to solve. X equals to 12 minus 2, which is 10, so we get x equal to 10. Same of you can check the answer by placing 10. What do we get? We get 10 plus 2 over 3, which is 12 over 3, which is indeed 4, so that works perfect. So you may or may not check for the time being, but it is a good practice, so you may check. Okay, so I think the technique is absolutely clear. Let's apply one again. So we get x minus 6 equals to times 3, so that is the x minus 6 equals to 6. X is equal to 6 plus 6, so x is equals to 12, and you can check your answer. 12 minus 6 over 3 is the 6 over 3, which is indeed, so that what you expected, correct. Okay, so we have another similar kind of question. Now here we will apply both the techniques. So this one, I think now you can do easily. We can write this as a minus 3x equals to 4 times 5. So we have to minus 3x equals to 20 minus 3x equals to 20 minus 2. So minus 3x is equal to 18. X is 18 divided by minus 3 minus 6. So we get x equals to minus 6. Perfect. Next one. Now here what we say is that we see 3 different terms. So this technique is not going to work. We have to find the lowest common multiples. So in this case, we is the LCM. So we are using the second strategy. We are finding lowest common multiple for denominator. So this is for denominator. So 3, 6, and 2. The lowest common denominator is 6. So we are going to multiply each term by 6, right? So let us rewrite this. So we get 4x over 3 equals to, the equation is 7 over 6 minus 5x over 2. We are going to multiply each term by 6 on both the side. Do you see this now? Since you do the same operation on both sides, you don't change the equation, but you could simplify it. So when you do so, you could get rid of fractions. That's the whole idea, right? So here 3 goes 2 times 6 1 times, and that goes 3 times. So basically you get linear equations without fractions. 4 times 2 is 8. So I grab this as x equals to 7 minus 3 times 5, 15x, correct. So 4 gets multiplied by 2, we get 8x, several remains. Our search plus 5 minus XL, LCD, also we call lowest common denominator. So we'll also call this the lowest common denominator, and you get a linear equation. Now it is simple to solve. Bring it on side. 8x minus 15x equals to 7, and you added this 8 plus 8 is 13. So get 23x equals to 7. So x is equal to 7 over 23. So that becomes the solution for the given equation. So I hope these steps are basically clear. So in this page we have seen both the techniques here. We did cross multiplication, and then we found the lowest common denominator, which is actually the lowest common multiple of the denominator. Multiplying the same gets rid of the denominator, and then you can solve as shown here. So I hope the strategy is absolutely clear. Let's move and take a rest of the question. Now I would like you to pause this video, apply the right, and then solve. So these two questions, we again have 3 terms and not just 2 terms, right? So what do you accept in this case? We have to find the lowest common denominator, right? So let's find the least common denominator. So lowest common denominator, which is 6 minus 4, is what as 12, right? So is 12. Now for same of you, how do we figure this out? Let's take that now. So to find this, we have ladder division method. You could write all these numbers 6, 2, and 4. Same common factor. Let's say in this case we get 3 times 1 and 2. So 2 goes 3 times in 6, 1 times in 2, 2 times in full. So 1 left with this number. So the lowest common denominator, I should say multiple. Now because we found that is 2 times 3 times 1 times 2, which is 12. So that is the technique of finding the lowest common denominator. Perfect. So once we find that, we have to multiply by this number to all the terms. So we have x plus 7 over 6 plus, so we are going to multiply this by 12. So that is this 12, and 12 times 1 over 2 equals to 12 times x minus 2 over 4 as expected. All the denominators can now be cancelled with the 12. So 6 goes to 2 times 2 goes 6 times 4 goes 3 times. Now this 3 should be multiple to both. Remember this part, right? Otherwise you will get a wrong answer. Same here. 2 has to be multiplied with the both x and 7. So when you open this practice, you get 2x plus 14 plus 6 equals to 3x minus 6. I hope this step is clear. We are multiplying these two with the both the numbers, right? Applying the dispute property. Now you have to solve bringing the x terms together and the constants together. Sometimes we know 3x is higher. We will bring x to the right side. We have 14 plus 6. Let me write 14 plus 6. This x coming this side will become positive 6, 3x minus 2x. So we get x equals to 26. So x equals to 26 is our answer. Is that clear? Now let's do the next one. So here, what is the lowest common denominator? 4 and 2. It is 4, right? Since 4 is multiple of 2, so we will multiply everything by 4. So what do we get? We get 4 times 1 over 4x plus 1 in practice equals to 4 times x over 2 plus 4 times 3. So here 4 and 4 cancels. In this case we get 2 times here. It is 4 times. So when you open the practice, you get x plus 1 equals 2x plus 12. Again, I will take this x to the right side. Now since I see that 2x is greater, bring 12 on this side. So we have 1 minus 12 equal to 2x minus x. That gives me x equals 2 minus 12. So I hope you this strategy of avoiding the negative sign with the x, it is also helps saves time. Perfect. Now let's move on and take the last two questions. When I hope by now you have learned this, apply and solve these two questions, then check with my solutions. Here 5 and 2. So what the lowest common denominator in this case? The lowest common denominator is 10. So we will multiply every term by 10. So what we get here is 10 times 2 over 5 times 3x minus 1 equals to 4 times 10 minus 10 times 1 over 2x plus 2. Now when you simplify, 10 goes to x with the 5 and 5 times with the 2. So 2 times 2 is a 4. So we are at 4 times 3x minus 1 equals 240 minus. So when you open this bracket, remember to apply minus 5 into both, right? So minus 5x and minus 10. So take care of minus sign also, right? So you have to multiply with the both the terms. Bring x 5 together. Let's again open this bracket also. So we get 12x minus 4 equal to, let's combine them. 40 minus 10 is 30 minus 5x. Bring 5x to the left side. It 12x plus 5x equals 30 plus 4, and that is 17. X equals 34, or x is equal 2 over 17, which is the 2 perfect, so that how you are going to solve it. Now let's take the last example. This is kind of different since you have x in the denominator. To see this part x in the denominator, so in this case what is the lowest common denominator? It is 6x. You see that now just 6x, so we are going to multiply each term by 6x. So we have 6x times 1 over 3 equals 2. 6x times 2 over x minus 6x over 6. So that gives you 6 divided by 3 is 2. So we get 2x equals to 6 times 2 is 12x, and x cancel, right? So we get 12, and here we get minus x. So see what happens. X and x cancel. This goes to x plus 6, and 6 once. So we get our equation, which is 2x equal to 12 minus x. Now bringing x to the left, we have 2x, x equal to 12, 3x equals to 12, x is equal to 12 over 3, which is 4. So I hope the solution